Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 6th January 2023. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. I am a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Haribol trsvnectar nectar nectar. In this particular vlog, in my previous videos, we have been discussing about the various knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is only a continuation of what we have been doing in my previous videos. Today we shall start our discussion about one very famous English proverb. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. This is a direct hit on avariciousness and greed of a human being. It says that be contented with what you have than leaving what you have and running for what you don't have. In the end, you may end up with nothing because God gives you what you deserve and not what you covet. That is, God has given you and will give you what you actually deserve and which you can digest or handle. But if you leave what God has given you and run after that which is not in your hands, it is quite possible that you may end up with nothing. There are two Hindi proverbs to vouch for this particular fact. The first one is called आधी छोड़ पूरी पे धावे आधी मिलियो न पूरी पावे. That is, if you have 50% of something, be contented with it. Don't leave that 50% in the quest of getting some other 100%. In that process, you will not get those 100% and you may also lose the 50% that you already had. That does not in any way mean that you should not aim high. It means that if you want to aim high, you keep the one that is already with you and then try for the next superior one. That is, if you have half, then you try for the full, slowly and steadily, step by step. If you are a schooling person, a school student who has passed his 12th, you keep that 12th with you and then try to become a graduate. Once you become a graduate, keep your graduation and your schooling with you and aim high for post graduation and so on. Never abandon what you already have for the sake of that which you do not have. In that process, you will end up with nothing to claim or to be proud about. There is another Hindi proverb, दुब्बे जी पहुँचे चौबे जी पहुँचे छब्बे बनने और दुब्बे बन के लौटे. That means that there are four Vedas in Hindu mythology: Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda. A Chaube is one who has learned all the four Vedas. If this man decides to forget his position as a Chaturvedi or a Chaube and tries to become Chabbe, that is six Veda person, then he will not achieve anything because there are no six Vedas, there are only four. But in this process of trying to have six Vedas, he may lose his knowledge about the first four Vedas and end up with only two Vedas, that is Dwivedi or Dube. In Tamil it is said that Arasanai Nambi Purusanai Kadikai Vittano. That means that a person leaves or abandons her husband for the sake of sleeping with the king. She thinks that by doing that she will become a queen, but ultimately she has already abandoned her husband and she ends up as that king's mere concubine in the king's harem. This we should remember all our life. There have been several instances where this proverb has been proved correct. First example is Genghis Khan, the man who is known as the International Scourge. This person hailed as a chieftain in Mongolia, but he tried to conquer the world, and in that process he destroyed half of this world. But ultimately, what happened? He died because out of tiredness he fell off his horse midway and fell dead on the street or on the field. His body was buried in such a way that today we don't even have his mausoleum in this world. Nobody knows where Genghis Khan has been buried. This man was considered the scourge of the world and was supposed to have ravaged half of the world. But today, Mongolia is just a small country at the northern end of the globe, and it is not world famous as some world power also. Similarly, Alexander the Great, he hailed from Macedonia, but which is near Greece, but he is called a Greek emperor, though he hailed from an unknown place or almost unknown place called Macedonia. He tried to conquer the world, but he died miserably at the age of 32 in some place in the deserts in Saudi Arabia. He is not known to have ruled the world. He only tried to conquer it. Partly he succeeded and partly he was defeated. This shows that this man, who could have lived happily in Macedonia, tried to grab something which ultimately ended in his own dying unknown in a desert in Saudi Arabia. we shall continue with this discussion in my next video. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this subject. Please give me your own opinions, thoughts, and ideas so that we may keep blending them into one another and come up with something which is beneficial to the whole society. Kindly subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that I may remind you of my other videos. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.